We are put in a position by a bigger master to be taught not to fuck with each other. So you as the model minority always see us as beneath you.
Median household income today, Asian, $123,000. Black, $47,000. Hey, fatherless rate, Asian, only 16%. Black, 63%. Whew. Let's look at homework per week. Asian, no surprise here, they do 134 minutes on average. Black, 36. I don't hear them saying they're better than you and you're beneath them. I hear maybe you feeling that way. You guys know Killer Mike? Probably not. He's a hip-hop artist, done some good stuff, and he's been dining out on that for a very long time. He's largely an activist. And sometimes people give him a pass because he'll say the right thing, and like he's a Second Amendment advocate. But then when you understand that it's very often only because he thinks the Second Amendment needs to be used for black people to protect against white people, you realize he doesn't have the ability to read crime statistics. And then the more you listen to him, you realize that he is intensely racist and effectively wrong about everything. His latest tirade is about Asians and how blacks and Asians can't get along, but it's the fault of the Asians. At a certain point, maybe Killer Mike can ask, is it me? Time for Claim Truth.
Now, the answer is yes, it is him.
The first claim, and this we showed you this clip not that long ago, the Asian shopkeeper, Rick Chow.
Which, by the way, great name for a wrestler.
It really is, yeah, Rick Chow. That's perfect. Rick, it's time to chow.
It's chow time.
It's chow time.
Dun, 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 dun.
His move is like the chop suey or something.
Yeah.
Takes two sticks and.
His secret weapon is chopsticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Rick Chow, shopkeeper. He protected himself. He shot a young black man, and he got off because it was self-defense. So this is the jumping off point. Killer Mike. This is showing us a problem with Asians and blacks, and they can just get away with anything.
I saw a black child, South Carolina, walked out of a store.
He had a
when
gun.
Confronted, showed I don't have anything.
Didn't do his hands.
Chased out of that store.
No,
and
reach
shot
his
in
hands
back
in his pockets.
and killed. Nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed.
That man was let off the case.
Here's the truth. A jury found that Chow had defended his son's life. And here's some other details we didn't really get into. They confronted that young black man. They always say boy. The young black man pulled a gun on Chow's son after they chased him. They thought that he had stolen something. By the way, they have been robbed many times at gunpoint at the store, as many shopkeepers, bodega owners are. Chow shot Belton, the young black man, in self-defense. Now, here's the other thing that they don't tell you. Chow then rendered aid to Belton while his son called 911. He even kept the young black man's airway clear by sucking the vomit out of his mouth, and then immediately cooperated with authorities. All of this was known by the jury, to be clear. Also, Belton had a gun. So it comes down to his word against his word. He said, she said, black said, Asian said. And you look at one who seemed to do everything he could to try and save the child's life. It's an unfortunate situation. These things happen, especially someone who's been the target of violent assault or the victim of violent assault, as this shopkeeper was. So that's what actually happened, by the way. But he uses this as a jumping off point to make broad generalizations while accusing white people and Asians of being prejudiced. Let's contrast that with Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was somewhere he shouldn't be, was asked to leave. He stabbed someone in the chest when asked to leave. Maybe he was gently pressed on the shoulder after asked 15 times, and then he tried to dish the murder weapon. Not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. This is a jumping off point to go to all the other claims from Killer Mike. So put him in the same category as Bill Maher. Occasionally he might say something that you think has him coming around. He's not. He's not. This guy is obsessed with race. And the more you watch any of his previous content, a very hateful person. Here's the second claim. Is that Asians always see black people as beneath them, and that's a problem.
It's not enough to just hate the other person anymore. It's not enough to just hate the Asian store and burn them down and boycott them.
Well, that was never enough.
And I do think all of that. I'm at a point now where I'm just like, enough. Oh. We can't fuck with y'all. Y'all don't fuck with us, and it's obvious. And we are put in a position by a bigger master to be taught not to fuck with each other. So you as the model minority always see us as beneath you.
Now, by the way, just to be clear, I understand that might be hard to decipher because this is something people do. They try and create new, to F with somebody. It used to be don't F with him. It meant to mess with somebody, to do something undesirable. But now they'll say it like, yo, I F with Coca-Cola, meaning I like it. But it also means I don't F with, as in I don't like it. So they just try and create this new vernacular and say that you don't understand. It's a language for themselves. It's stupid. Words have meaning and phrases have meanings, especially when it's already an idiom or colloquialism. So what he really means to say is, I'm done being around Asians. I don't want to spend time with them, and they're probably done with me. Here's the truth. It's a completely subjective and unintelligible statement or premise from him that Asians, I guess, think they're above black people. But let's look at this objectively. I can understand why Killer Mike might feel this way. Because black Americans and Asian Americans kind of started off at the same spot, pre-civil rights. And Asian Americans, having faced discrimination in a similar timeline, certainly the most comparable here in the United States, have outpaced the growth, progress, and success of black Americans for reasons that I guess your guess is as good as mine. Let's look at pre-civil rights earnings. Filipino earnings were about 39% less than whites. I'm using that because if you go to the data, go check the reference. They didn't have like this broad category of Asians for some reason. Filipino was very specific. Black earnings, 43% less than whites. So both right around 40%. That's a rounding error. Now let's look at the earnings data today. Filipino earnings, 14% more than whites. Black Americans, same spot, 39% less than whites.
Wow.
So you can just say, well, it's because they've been kept up. But they weren't? But this group wasn't? Because here's the thing. You're crapping on the group that found a way out of it.
Surely if it was race related, we would have held back the Spanish Asians.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Median household income today, Asian, $123,000. Black, $47,000. Hey, fatherless rate, Asian, only 16%. Black, 63%. Whew. Let's look at homework per week. Asian, no surprise here, they do 134 minutes on average. Black, 36.
They were only assigned 90.
Jeez.
Look at the IQ, 115 for Asian. Black, 85. Look at percent of murders that are being committed by Asians in this country, 1%. Black, 44%. How can you see this across the board? We're the same starting off point. In other words, none of you have a head start. None of you were given a handicap. How do they outperform you in every single metric? I don't hear them saying they're better than you and you're beneath them. I hear maybe you feeling that way. And you know what? I probably would too if I looked at those numbers. Check the references, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's subjective.
Yes, if I looked at the data says that. The Asians aren't telling you that. The data is telling you that.
And there is an Asian named Data, and he would tell you that.
He would also tell you that.
After you fall into his booty trap.
You know what Asians don't have? Asian Americans? They don't have community leaders like Killer Mike. That wouldn't even get started. They'd be like, oh, we want to have a leader, or we'll call him Killer Mike.
No. No, bad name. We don't want to be associated with murder. Maybe Happy Smiley #1 Mike. Yes, maybe great ally to white American Mike.
We interned the Japanese, and they're doing better than black Americans are now. We literally took everything.
We
from
interned
them.
non-Japanese sometimes because they looked Japanese.
Yes, since civil rights, we've gone to war with Asian countries. Have we gone to war with black countries?
Right.
Kind of.
They don't put up much of a fight. Somalia.
No, not big wars, no.
No.
Okay, that's fair.
Substantial.
And then but here's the thing. It's always someone else's fault. So you look at the crime. You look at the business, the degree of success in business. You look at the fatherless rates. You look at the income. You look at the starting off point. No. It's never the black community and the leadership therein. You know, the Kamala Harrises, the Al Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons, the Killer Mikes, the Jasmine Crockett's. We notice a trend. It's never that. It's never that there's a difference in priorities, values, and leadership with Asian Americans. It's they must be a problem and somehow they too must be oppressing you and you can't play well with them, because that's the ultimate take home from it. I highly recommend you go watch the whole interview. Here's the third claim that he makes, and it's absurd. I guess he thinks we live in like the 1950s still. He makes the claim that Asians need blacks as customers because they could never put a store in the master class's neighborhood. He actually says that, and here's the funny thing. I guarantee you most Asian Americans don't see white Americans as the master class.
Yeah.
Play the clip.
And yet you need us because you could never put a store in the master class's neighborhood.
Yeah, here's the truth. Asians set up their shops, businesses in largely suburban white areas.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you look at the Asian makeup, 7% of the population, about 11.5% of business owners, particularly in food, hospitality. So they'll open up restaurants, they'll open up gas stations, bodegas, nail salons, predominantly in suburban areas, tech companies, white areas.
Military surplus stores.
Yep.
There you go.
San Jose, by the way, city with the most Asian businesses, black population, 2%. This idea that they're setting up shop. Now, at one point in time when they started off with the same disadvantages, right? They both had 40% an average lower income than white Americans. Yeah, that's where they might have set up shop in poor black areas because that's where they live. The property was cheaper. They moved past it. Your community never has. And you know what? They never will if they believe your bullshit rhetoric. That's the big problem, is people like you. Hey, Killer Mike, I'm not saying that black people are the problem. I'm saying that thought leaders like you are the problem. They set up shop in white suburban areas, sometimes largely Asian areas, but they're not thinking, master class, we can't set up shop in a nice suburb. It's just not a part of their thought process. No. They look at margins, profits, losses, risk, reward, not to mention the most valuable company in the world right now, NVIDIA, owned by an Asian, Jensen Huang. Huang, I always get it wrong.
You always get it Huang?
I always get it wrong. And you know who would laugh? The Asians who know I get it wrong. I'm like, oh, get it wrong. Oh, very punny. Though it can be argued, he is tapping into some untapped urban markets now.
Oh. Got to get my H100s, yo.
We're set up right next to Booster Mobile.
Hurry up, I need to cash this check so I can buy some chips.
That's right.
Can't fail.
You thought I was going to buy Doritos.
No.
Stupid.
No more rookie you. No more rookie you. You window shop. You buy, you get out. Go back to Western Union. Now.
Hey! Give me your wallet now!
I don't have a wallet.
What do you mean you don't have a wallet?
I don't need one.
Yeah, well, what about your driver's license?
I don't have one of those either.
You can't get a driver's license?
No, I can get one. I just don't like the bureaucracy. I don't like standing in lines.
You sound like a liar, which is like one of the worst things to be, even worse than a thief. Are you a liar? How do you pay for things, liar?
I use Rumble Wallet.
What's Rumble Wallet? Some kind of vibrating sack of cash?
No, it's a place where I can manage my crypto in one spot. It's as easy as money.
Well, then give me that!
I can't. It's encrypted.
Yeah? Well, how about I stab you until you give me the encryption, huh?
Go to wallet.rumble.com to download the Rumble Wallet today. No banks, no fees, no middlemen, just your money, and now all of your crypto in one secure, easy-to-use place. Get started today. Let me ask you, though. So Asian Americans, started off same spot as black Americans. And I will say it is true when they were immigrants and they were poor, at one point in time, they were more so found or clustered in black communities. And then black people didn't like that they were sort of insulated. And then as Asian Americans became more successful and they migrated out to the suburbs, guess what? They integrated more and they've become more westernized and American. Here's why they isolated themselves and siloed themselves. When you're living in South Central, you better be around a bunch of other Koreans because blacks aren't too friendly to you. A lot of hate crimes. Remember that? Here may be why.
Why are we the victims? I mean, my friends are good Christians. I mean, we've been through so much and to go through this. I mean, everything 22 years down the drain.
Many Koreans who yesterday were the shopkeepers of South Central Los Angeles today have lost the businesses they took years to create. 41 Korean businesses in South Central have been torched, dozens looted. In this overwhelmingly black and Hispanic area, Koreans own many of the small businesses. They're insular, they employ their own, they keep to themselves. Blacks say that's the problem.
I'm not surprised that the Koreans got targeted because their prices are high, their attitude is wrong, and they just don't seem to have any respect for the black community.
Well, why does it matter if they keep to themselves? Just leave them alone and you won't run into the ultimate sin, disrespect, right? Hey, you guys have BET, don't you? Don't you have Black History Month? Am I wrong? Don't you guys have a bunch of for black people, by black people, need black spaces? It's just not okay when the Asians have them and they're, law-abiding? No one can have their own thing, according to the black leaders in these communities, except for black people. They can have their own thing.
That guy had a point, though. I mean, Five Guys is pretty expensive. I think we should burn it down.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait.
I get it. I get
allegedly.
it. They don't respect because they don't, well, hey, they're poor at this point, so they're probably living in the areas where a lot of black Americans are. They want nothing to do with you. They wanted nothing to do with you in Los Angeles. Why? Well, check the crime rates. Even though Asians were poor, you didn't see the same violent crime rates. Guarantee you they raised their kids. They said, stay away from these areas. Don't wear red, don't wear blue, just stay neutral. I get it. You don't? It's for the same reason that you claim you fear white people, right? You guys say that even though we know it's not true, but just use that premise for your argument. Claim number 4 from Killer Mike, that blacks should now be finding Asians. I'm not super comfortable with the language, but I won't play his game. Let's hear him out.
And if we won't unite against them,
white people,
we won't unite for ourselves.
Yeah, but if we won't unite, I mean the Asians and black against the master class,
white people,
then we can no longer fuck with y'all because it's just not working. It's not working where you can hunt down a child
who has a gun
and they let you get away with it 2 times in my lifetime. We should be finding you.
No. I believe in eye for eye,
what we should be doing. Not saying what we're going to do.
Okay, a couple of things here. First, truth. You must not be looking. Asians are not very hard to find.
Oh, would you like me to park your car?
Second truth is that I noticed the pandering from people, because I don't think Killer Mike is a stupid person, but he panders to people as though they are stupid. He assumes that, I guess he's assuming black people don't understand the concept of work. Allow me to explain. When he says hunt, you could go out and you could just hunt a black child. Like, do you know the amount of work that goes into hunting? You have to get a permit. It has to be in season. You have to get the right rifle. You have to make sure that it's an approved caliber that can be used. You have to set up a blind. You have to go out. You have to track the animal. You have to kill it. You have to dress it. The deer doesn't just walk into your 7-Eleven as free food.
With a gun.
With a gun. So, hunt. You're hoping, you're banking on people not understanding the general concept of work. Because they'll just go, yeah, it's like hunting. Here's the next truth. We got to find them. Careful with that language, because we remember the last time that you tried to find Asians. We had the Stop Asian Hate hashtag until we realized who was actually carrying out the Asian hate, and that went away quickly.
Asian Lives Matter! Tonight, a movement to stop the hate against Asians spreading across the country.
Grandpa Visha was attacked in San Francisco's Anza Vista neighborhood. Surveillance video shows Watson running and then pushing Visha to the ground. He struck his head and died days later.
And they say the sentence a judge gave Antoine Watson for killing Grandpa Visha does not bring about justice.
Grandpa. The suspect arrested in this brazen attack on an Asian American woman is 38-year-old Brandon Elliott, a paroled killer convicted of murdering his mother nearly 20 years ago.
The continued rise in attacks and violence against our Asian American community is despicable.
A 55-year-old woman was punched so viciously on Bayard Street Monday night, she slumped to the ground unconscious as the suspect continued screaming.
Women in the Asian American community are remembering Michelle Go, tragically killed 1 year ago, pushed onto the subway tracks at Times Square with a train approaching.
61-year-old Simon Marshall is accused of shoving a woman into a moving subway train at the Times Square station.
We should be finding you.
Yeah, I remember the Stop Asian Hate hashtag just moving down and disappearing like it was the attendance record on Ed Rooney's computer. Let's look at the murder. Let's look at the murder percentages, the numbers. Blacks against Asians, as far as what percentage of total murders of Asians are made up by blacks? 20%. Asians against blacks, 0.4%. Now, a lot of the interracial crime statistics are no longer studied out of inconvenience, I would say. So they'll sometimes have the victim, but not the perp, or vice versa. They're tough to find. So we have to get sample studies, right? Sort of pilot studies. 2008, it was found to be the case that 85% of all assault crimes in the San Francisco area were black on Asian. All physical assault crimes in the Bay Area were black on Asian. Maybe that's why we don't want to study interracial crime statistics, because then people like Killer Mike wouldn't be able to peddle their bullshit. And who gives them a platform? Who acts like this is a brilliant thought leader? Here's another truth. Black Americans, they're one of the only groups that harms themselves, their fellow neighbor. Even if you look at criminal gangs, like the mob, awful criminals. I don't believe in romancing, romanticizing the mafia at all. They didn't kill people in their own community, generally speaking. You look at Asian Americans, you look at a lot of their gangs, it's usually inter-gang violence. They don't kill their own people in record numbers. Even the same thing with a lot of white Americans, even in poor areas. Poor areas, they don't have the same kind of murder rate. Black Americans, 90% of murders against black Americans are committed by black Americans. It's the only place you find that. So when people talk about how strong a community and snitches get ditches, or stitches, whatever it is, whatever stupid saying, that's when you hear that, young black Americans, that's criminals grooming you to be a victim. You understand that, right? It's, we are going to be the murderers 90% of the time. We're going to be the face that shows up. Another black American 90% of the time. And you better not let the cops know, because then you won't be considered black enough. Abortion? Talking about genocide? 20 million, at least, black babies been aborted since Roe v. Wade. It is a self-genociding, self-defeating community that wants everyone else to adopt their mindset. Why? So now you have something. Imagine trying to explain black fatigue to an Asian American. They wouldn't even get. They wouldn't get the. They'd be like, look. So here's what's going on: is a lot of Americans. They feel that there is a significant crime problem in the black community.
Yes.
And especially with the riots, what's been going on. That there's
very bad.
Racist wave, and so they don't want to be.
It's a tsunami. Yes.
Around the black community so much.
That's no good. Yes.
Yeah. They don't like the culture, and so it's called black fatigue.
What is a fatigue?
Right.
No black.
Right. That's pretty much it. They don't have a term for it because it's immediate. Mike Brown doesn't exist in the Asian community. A George Floyd doesn't exist, assuming he was Asian, to be clear. You know why? They wouldn't allow him to. He would be exiled from the community. He wouldn't be held out as a saint. He would be used as a cautionary tale from a tiger mom of how you can end up if you don't do hour 156 of homework. They wouldn't tell you, hey, I guarantee you, Asian parents are not going, hey, careful, hey, careful when you go outside, you could be next George Floyd. No, they're saying, do your homework or you end up like George Floyd. That's everyone. Mm-hmm. So Killer Mike, okay, the master class, because some poor white kid from West Virginia, he's the master class. Some lower middle class kid from master class. From some relatively poor kid, no offense, from Mesquite growing up. Yeah, he's the master class. Some poor Filipino in the 1960s. Yeah, they're the master class. And you can't get along with any of them? Not white Americans, not Hispanic Americans. We heard Van Jones talk about that. Not Asian Americans. And you guys can't even get along with yourselves. 90% of your murders are committed by people in your own community. At what point do you just say, hey, there are plenty of minorities in this country. There are plenty of groups that have been oppressed, that have been, by the way, unjustly treated, and there are plenty of outliers. Your community, it's the only one that faces these same problems across the board. You are the outlier. Maybe it's you. Not all of you, not all. Just anyone who thinks like you. You know, the vast majority of black Americans who have podcasts or shows on cable news or BET or are seen in the streets as activists. Just those are the people I'm generalizing about. Not all. Just people who say the shit you do. I want to be clear because that was maybe it's you. Allow me to clarify that was a rhetorical question. It's you. Hey, if you're still watching this, you may be one of the 6 million or so subscribers on YouTube who is, for one reason or another, I don't understand it, still here. So back in the day, I would say click one of these videos and subscribe, but really just head on over to my channel on Rumble. Follow me there. I'm live 5 days a week, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I actually say the things that I mean to say. On YouTube, it's everyone here is kind of neutered, really, and there's just a general lack of testicular energy, but I mean that in the heterosexual way. Mostly.